I just checked my email one day and I had an email from my agent, and it was the script for this film. She said, "Take a look at this one. Winona Ryder is a big fan of yours and really wants you to play this role." And I just about lost consciousness. I couldn't believe that Winona Ryder even knew who I was.
Kristen here, and we are chatting with John Gallagher Jr. about his brand new film, Gone in the Night, as well as a little spring awakening for all those theater nerds out there like me. I hope you enjoy this conversation. Tell me about what it was like joining Gone in the Night and what it was like working with this cast. I mean, you have such incredible players here.
Yeah, it was thrilling. About a year ago, I just checked my email one day and I had an email from my agent, and it was the script for this film. She said, "Take a look at this one. Winona Ryder is a big fan of yours and really wants you to play this role." And I just about lost consciousness. I couldn't believe that Winona Ryder even knew who I was. I mean, she's a legend and an icon with an unparalleled career in this industry. And I've been such a fan of hers for ages. So the fact that she wanted to work with me was just, I still kind of can't believe my good fortune. So I read the script and it hooked me. I hadn't read anything quite like it. It was kind of this genre bending, strange mystery that kept me guessing and reading the whole time. And yeah, and then I chatted with the director and the writer, Eli Horowitz, and we hit it off. And I said yes with little deliberation. It seemed like too good to be true, and we had a great time making it. I really did. It was the most fun that I've had on a film set in a while. I really enjoyed working with Winona. I mean, she's just a dream. She couldn't be a sweeter person if she tried. She's so nice and genuine and humble and smart, and just getting to hear stories about her life and her career was a gift, something I'll cherish for all my years in this business.
Oh, that's incredible. Oh, I love that so much. That is phenomenal. And you said you had so many great memories. You really enjoyed working on this. Can you share like any fun moments on set or while filming?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like the people that we had on board, not just Winona, but Dermot Mulroney and Breon Chu and Owen Teague. It was just like this kind of crackerjack ensemble. We had such a blast. I mean, we got to shoot in the Cazadero region of the Redwood Forest, north of San Francisco, which is just beautiful. And we were shooting in a real cabin on location the whole time. And then we got to shoot the rest of it in Petaluma, California. There was one day where we filmed at this theater in Petaluma. I think I want to say it was maybe called the Fox, and it had been like this legendary kind of storied DIY punk venue. And Winona was like, "Oh my God, like I saw Violent Femmes here in the 90s. I saw the Replacements here in the 90s. Like she had seen all these shows there because she actually grew up partly in Petaluma, California. So it was really cool to be filming kind of in her old stomping grounds and to be inside this old venue and to kind of, hear the history talking through the walls was really, really cool. But just the whole thing was really kind of a dreamy experience, just getting to hear all the stories from Winona's history. And she would tell me stories about working with Arthur Miller and working with Francis Ford Coppola and Jim Jarmusch and Gary Oldman. And, it's just kind of like I was a kid in a candy store. I was a happily captive audience the whole time.
At the heart of this film, though, we're kind of diving into some themes of like, how far would people go for, that immortality, that youth? Why do you think that humanity fears those things?
Well, I think, to put it very bluntly, I think death is scary. It's scary and uncertain, and it's a part of life. And we all know that we're all headed there. And that's just a kind of insane thing to grapple with on a daily basis. And some of us do, and some of us don't. Some of us do even when we don't know that we're doing it. It's kind of a daily part of life, but it's just kind of an age-old story trope, isn't it? Like, the fountain of youth. I mean, for years and years and years and years, it's been a symbol in storytelling and something that people are always trying to find some kind of way to turn back time, whether it's through cosmetic surgery or aligning yourself with a younger group of people, which is something that all the characters in this film kind of do. I just thought it was such a fresh way to grapple with those themes, the way that Eli has structured this story. The themes are kind of, it's a tale as old as time in a way, but the way that he wrote this story, I just thought it was kind of hyper-focused and interesting because these characters are are all just struggling with what it means to age and what it means to let go of your past. It's just kind of a stunning way to tell the tale.
And now I gotta ask, this year you returned to Spring Awakening in a couple of different forms, the documentary, the performance at the Tonys. I know when I was growing up, you guys were rock stars for us.
Oh,
So what was it like to return to that material and to that cast?
it was such a gift, just a tremendous present, honestly, to get the chance to all be back together under one roof and to perform the show again. And then the sweetness of the deal just being that it got filmed and that this documentary was able to come out so quickly. That was just something that I don't think any of us really saw coming. It was a bit of a pipe dream when we started talking about it a year or so ago. And the fact that it all came together, I just think we all felt incredibly blessed.
Honestly, lost my mind when you guys came out at the Tonys. I was like, oh my goodness, wow.
Oh, I'm so glad.
But and I'm sure for you guys that must have just been, 15 years later, 16 years later, like, to come back to that material, just like completely different age, completely different person. Was it like a little different or did it feel the same?
It was surreal. There's something about it that I think we almost all understood the material and the roles better now than we did back then. Coming at it with 15 years of life experience and age, it almost goes against what you are told in a film like Gone in the Night, that, actually there's some real benefits from getting older. You get to come at things with a really fresh perspective.
Throughout your career, to see you go from stage to screen, do you kind of tackle things a little bit differently?
There's some kind of surface elements that you have to tap into, obviously, like you have to make things a little bit bigger on stage just because there's a live audience and you want to make sure that the person in the back row is getting just as good of a story as the person in the front row. So you have to kind of open it up and send things out. Film is a little more internal and quiet because if you're too big on camera, it can be jarring for an audience because the camera is right up here in your face. So you have to dial those things in accordingly. But as far as the acting goes, I approach everything from the same exact place, which is just how do I tell the story and how do I make it feel real? Those really are the only two things that I'm interested in, is getting the story told and making it feel real to me. Because if it feels real to me, it's going to feel real to somebody watching.
Thank you again for your time. I'm glad we could chat.
You too. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you again. Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and if you want to talk more TV and movies with me outside of the comments section, check out the exclusive Discord available on my Patreon at patreon.com/kmaldo. If you like this one, you can check out more of my videos right over here. See ya!